Good morning. I'm here in my studio and I'm working on a painting, and I wanted to show you what's happening from my sketchbook and my drawings and everything, and how I'm trying to work everything together. So this sketchbook page I showed on, I posted this on my Facebook page, I don't know, maybe last week. And some of the things that surprised me that I was really interested in and liked the way they worked out was this here and this down here. And what happened is that I had a drawing on a piece of deli paper, an ink drawing that was going to use for collage, and then decided I wasn't going to use it. And it was just sitting there. And so I had put some, it's just like a whitewash, and I thought, okay, it's too wet. I need to blot that up. So I did this just to kind of blot up. And when I pulled it away, I had a print of my ink drawing in my book, and I was amazed. So I tried it again, and exactly the same thing happened. And I was extremely surprised and happy. And this was like a cool little happy accident that I then went on to work with here. So now I am working on a painting, and I've decided to take this and try to work it into the painting that I'm working on. So here's the painting that I've got so far. It's not finished. It's not even close to finished. But here I've put in the print here exactly the same way, and it's worked the same way. And I'm very excited that I could get that to work. I tried it up here and it didn't work. It didn't pick up the ink the same way, and I'm not quite sure why. So this flower here, I went over with a black pencil crayon, and I'm going to have to cover this up somehow, but I've got some compositional problems on this that I still have to work out. I was doing another painting to kind of correspond with that, like a set of two, and this is where I'm at with that so far. So I'm looking to do a similar kind of thing. Now, this one is going to be primarily dark, this one primarily light. So I've got a lot of mid-tone in here, which I'm not that happy with, but I've used some collage paper that I've made with a stamp on this printed paper, and then I've kind of put a wash over top to change the color and tone it back a bit, so it sits in with the dark instead of the light, which is more like it is here. So I wanted to do something similar on this, but I didn't really have anything that's going to work. But I have made a stamp. So this is the drawing that I started with for my stamp, and I'm not sure if I can zoom in a little so you can see this a bit better. And I have all these tiny little holes in here, which I kind of liked for the design, but when I went as far as cutting my stamp, I couldn't get it. Like, I realized that those holes are going to be too small for me to cut cleanly, and it's not going to look very nice. So I left the holes out and just had it a plain leaves. And somewhere in here I have, oh, there it is. When I was doing my cutting, I did test prints to get rid of all these little trailing bits. So that's what this print looks like, which I used in my sketchbook in a couple of places. There, I've used it there, somewhere else in here, up here, I've used it up here. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking a piece of paper that I have, that I've painted white, and doing black stamp on there to collage onto this painting. Can I get that back out? Oops. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I hit the wrong thing. There we go. So I will have some kind of, I'm not sure which way this goes. I'm still working on it anyway. So instead of just stamping directly on here, which I could do, but then if I get it in the wrong place, then I have to paint over it and try it again. Whereas if I do it this way, I have a nice white background that I can then stamp on. And I might actually do some stamping on a transparent piece of paper as well, because that way I can have the leaves running up without the background showing. But I think I want it white, so that is what I am aiming to do right now. So I don't know if you've been following along for a while, you know that I made myself a jelly plate. It's picked up my... So this thing is made out of gelatin and silicone, and I was planning on just doing some experimenting with printing and stuff, and I haven't gotten very far with that, but a couple weeks ago I tried to use it as a stamp pad and it worked brilliantly. So unfortunately I only brought one piece of paper. I wasn't planning on being live for too long. Sometimes my work is, it takes me so long, and it's got to be boring for you guys. But so this is black gesso, and I'm using black gesso because it's very opaque and it's cheaper than regular black paint, and I like the way it looks on this. My paper here is also gesso. This is just, I have it sitting on a plastic lid. It doesn't stick to the plastic, which I like. So I'm just going to roll that out a little. And then use this as a stamp pad. And hopefully this will work. Oop, it doesn't look like I got everything there, so I'm just going to just push it a little harder in there. That looks better. And then I'm just going to stamp it on my paper over here. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Get a bit of a pattern going. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, let's try again. Oops, that looks sticky. Now, the paint gets sticky after a bit because it dries. It's acrylic, of course, it dries really fast. I might have to put some more on there. Let's get this. Oops, that actually stuck and tore my paper, but that's okay. You know, I don't like things to be perfect, because when they're perfect, it doesn't look like it's handmade. So let's put a bit more paint on there. I don't need a lot, just a tiny little bit. Roll it smooth. And again here, just off the end of the paper. I like that I'm getting variations in how black it is. I don't like everything to be exactly the same. If I wanted it all the same, I might as well just go and buy it. If I wanted it perfect, oh, again, that picked up my paper. That's interesting because that hasn't happened before. But it could just be that the gesso that I used on this paper. Sorry, I'm pushing hard and my tripod is wobbling a little bit. So apologize for the movement here. There we go. So you can see where the paper stuck. I have a little hole there on my print. That's okay, I don't mind it. Part of it's going to be painted over anyway, so I'm okay with that. There we go. Oh, that picked up more. To clean that off. So there we are. Let me just, oh, why do I have a shadow? I don't know what that shadow's from. Anyway, there's my finished piece of collage paper with my handmade rubber stamp. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for joining me. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.